What's going on YouTube? Michael Harris here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the different types of bidding in Google Shopping and when and where you should be using these strategies.
Too many thoughts on my mind, I can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help, I don't need opinions, so don't waste my time then. I just been living online.
Alright guys, so before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm just going to get this out of the way right away. Subscribe to the channel. I'm giving away a lot of valuable content, so I really appreciate you guys subscribing and watching it. Also, I'm going to be giving away a completely done for you Shopify store as well as my Google Shopping Blueprint once I hit 1,000 subscribers. The rules to enter this drawing are to subscribe to the channel and then also click the links below to join the free Google Kingpins chat group. Even if you don't want to enter your chance to win that giveaway, you should still check out the group because I give a lot more value away for free in the group than I do on the YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out. It's totally free. There's no obligations. It doesn't cost anything. Just join and check it out. Make sure when you join to check out some of the other goodies that I give away for free. You can just go through and see all of the quality content that I'm giving away in that group as well. So let's go ahead and get started with this video. Today I want to talk to you guys about the different bid settings in Google Shopping and what they all mean and when you should be using them. So first off, what I want to break down is my overall strategy. Like I have step-by-step tutorials on how to use Google Shopping somewhere on this channel. Just check it out somewhere up down below. There should be links to like actual step-by-step tutorials. I'm not going to get like into an ad account today. I'm just going to be talking about the difference between the types of bidding, like verbally just looking at me like you are right now. And so what I want to talk about first is kind of like the overall strategy of what I use, and then we'll break down each different strategy. So first of all, what I use is maximize clicks in a testing campaign. And so we have one big testing campaign with all of our products. If you have a general Shopify store, which is what I recommend if you're a beginner, you have like 50, 100, 200, however many products you can think of in one testing campaign, and you have that campaign set to maximize clicks. And what happens is it will just start to spit out winning products after you get 2 or 3 sales. And maximize clicks is the cheapest way to get clicks in high volumes to your campaign. So I use maximize clicks for testing, and then once you find a winning product, then we transition into manual bidding in the very beginning. After manual bidding, then we go into target ROA most of the time. Sometimes we just leave it at manual bidding depending on the performance, which we'll talk about here in a second. But essentially, those are the 3 things that I use. Like I don't use anything else with shopping. You can get into enhanced CPC, which I guess let me back up. I do use enhanced CPC. I'll break that down in just a second. But those are the main 3 things. And I don't know. There used to be a lot more styles, but I think that Google has completely gotten rid of like a lot of the different conversion settings. Like in Google Shopping specifically, I mean, there's no more maximize conversions, at least in my ad account. I don't know if maybe old ad accounts still have it, but this is a totally new ad account that I'm referring to. I don't see maximize conversions or any of that stuff anymore. So it's gotten pretty straightforward on what you should be doing it. So let's go ahead and break down each tactic and when and why you should be using it. So first off, like I said earlier, maximize clicks is what I use for testing campaigns. The only time I ever use maximize clicks is for testing campaigns to find winners. And the reason being is maximize clicks is an automated bidding strategy, and it requires absolutely no previous history from the products. And it just allows you to get like the best bang for your buck when you're testing products. You're not really like trying to have your products rank super high necessarily. I mean, that is kind of important when you're testing, but more importantly is just to see if you can get sales, not necessarily see if you can get profit. And so, like I said, I have step-by-step tutorials. If you want to get into that more in depth, you can watch those. But maximize clicks requires no previous history, and that's why it's good for testing campaigns, in addition to the fact that you get a high volume of clicks for cheap. Just make sure you set a max cost per click on the campaign. Otherwise, it can get really, really expensive really fast. And I've had campaigns where like I forget to set the max CPC, and it ends up being like $3 or $4 a click and burns through the budget in like, you know, like 50 clicks or whatever that is. That being said, it's really important to set the max CPC for maximize clicks campaigns. Other than that, though, you can just let maximize clicks campaigns go until you want to turn them off, and just see what the results come from your testing campaign. So once you find a winning product is when I take that product out and go into a single product campaign with that winning product. And at that point in time is when I use manual bidding or manual CPC. Now it's really important that you don't try to go right into target ROAs or manual CPC with enhanced cost per click. Google requires that you have past history on the product listing in Google Shopping. And what that means is like it goes off of the previous data that product has recorded in the ad account. So like if you only have 3 conversions or 2 conversions right from the testing campaign, and then you take that product into the single product campaign, then what happens is Google doesn't know very much about that product. So if you try to go into automated bidding like target ROAs or enhanced cost per click, then it's not going to function correctly, most likely. Now sometimes if you want to get crazy, you can try to test those and see if it works right out of the gate. For me personally, it never works right out of the gate. I wait until the product or the campaign has about 50 conversions. You can do it as early as 30, but in my experience 50 is better just because it's more data for Google to go off of. What I mean by data is Google needs to know like what a conversion looks like, and they use machine learning to diagnose like what a conversion looks like, what all the data that brought you that sale. So if they don't have a track record, then the automated bidding doesn't work. So I think that makes like it's really simple. You just don't want to overcomplicate it when you're thinking about the manual bidding. Automated bidding goes off of past historical data in the ad account. It's really simple. And so after you hit about 50 conversions with your manual CPC campaign in your single product campaign, then what you can do is you can try to turn on enhanced cost per click, okay? And this is assuming your store looks good, and this is like assuming everything is converting correctly, you're getting a decent conversion rate, you have a higher priced product and all that kind of stuff. What you would then do is turn on enhanced cost per click. And in theory, it's going to perform the exact same or better than your manual cost per click campaign. Now, what can happen is for the first week, it can fluctuate and it can show a lot of different, like it can act poor one day, great the next, and then poor the next day, and then great the next. And like you can have like a $5,000 day one day and then like a $2,000 day the next day. That's pretty normal in my experience. Now, obviously, whatever you're comfortable with, if you don't want to keep going, then don't keep going, go back to manual bidding. But you really don't want to change your bid settings a lot. So once you change it, then just commit to it for a while and see what happens. After the first week, then what will happen is it'll start to level out and things will go back to normal. And in theory, it will be a slightly improved version of manual CPC. So once you get a lot of conversions, then what you can then do is go into target ROA and set a target ROA. And what target return on ad spends does is it sets a goal to get you back in exchange for what you're spending. So like the example on Google Shopping, when you read like what is target ROAs, is basically if you want to spend $1 and you set target ROA to 500%, then for every $1 you spend, you get $5 back. Now, it's up to you to calculate like what is profitable and what's realistic, and Google will actually tell you that in the settings of your campaign, assuming that your campaign is functioning correctly. So that being said, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is like a lot of the help docs in Google, especially if you're like brand new, a lot of the help documents in Google are really, really helpful, and they actually tell you exactly what you need for each campaign to work correctly. So like, don't necessarily always just rely on what other people are telling you. Google actually does tell you exactly what it needs. That's what I love about Google is if your budget is limited by budget, it'll tell you, and you have to increase the budget for your campaign in order for it to keep functioning correctly. If you're getting a poor click-through rate or all this kind of stuff, it just tells you automatically. Like, you don't have to guess, you just know exactly what's going on. Not to mention the fact that people are actually buying from you because they actually want what you're selling and what you're advertising. So without going on too much further about all that kind of stuff, basically I would just recommend really researching a lot of the official Google documents because they're like really, really helpful. So just to recap really quick, guys, what I do is do maximize clicks with a testing campaign. Once you find a winner, I transition into a manual CPC one product campaign. After about 50 conversions, give or take, I turn on enhanced CPC, and then I go into target ROA. And that is my strategy. That is exactly what I do basically. There's a few other like hacks and tips and tricks, which like, sorry, I'm not going to give away for free on YouTube, but essentially that is the same strategy that I use. And that's how you can take your stores from like 0 to thousands or tens of thousands of dollars a day using Google Shopping. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, because I'm committed to giving you guys 3 videos per week for the rest of 2020 talking about Google Shopping and e-commerce. If you haven't joined yet, make sure you join the chat group at the links below. Give away a lot more free value in there. You can talk to me. You can talk to me about e-commerce, Google Shopping, anything that you want to talk about in regards to drop shipping. So make sure you join the group. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and have a good day.